Auto news. Is it a good time or is it a bad time to buy new and used? I've got a different conclusion for each because, well, there's different data for each, but let's jump right into it. Buying a new vehicle right now, I think, is a safe move to make. Between saying, am I going to sit on the sidelines and see where we're at in 6 months? Prices could potentially go up. And the reason for that, let's go cover this right here. The reason for that is because we have a recent little spike. So data from Cox Automotive, you got a little spike in the affordability index. So new vehicles, you can see here, we definitely see the increase, especially, the 22, 23 increase. Then throughout 23, prices kind of plateaued and prices have been coming down. And they came down a lot, January, February, and March. But April, they have this little, you see at the end here, right at the end, you got a little bump up. That's your April pricing. April pricing has become a little more expensive on new vehicles, and it could go either way. It could continue to go up, and I think it will, because sales in May are extremely good. So despite the middle class, we're having trouble. Grocery prices have gone up. People have to remortgage. Things aren't good. House prices have increased, but people who currently own a house and have owned one for 10 or 15 years, well, if they can also take out a line of credit on their home and still have spending money. So either way, new auto sales are going generally quite well. And as such, prices could continue to go up. So let's check that out. So what does pricing look like here? You've got the typical from Cox Automotive here. You've got an increase by 1.8% to $762 as a monthly payment. That's your average monthly payment is $762, a 1.8% increase. And unfortunately, it now takes on average 37.7 weeks of income to pay the vehicle. And in March that was 37.1, so it's taking more income to pay the vehicles. The average monthly payment peaked at $795 in December 22. So prices are down from 2022 because now the average payment is $762. But just recently, they had been going down and they just peaked back up, and they've mostly been going down in the last 4 months. So new vehicle affordability in April, it's better than a year ago, but it's not as good as last month. In the month of March. So new vehicle sales are going pretty well, and if they continue to go well, production's now basically consistent at most companies. I don't expect a huge decrease unless, for Toyota and Subaru, if their inventories shoot up, because they're still low inventory, and that's part of why they've kept their prices higher, whereas companies like Dodge, Ford, GM have dropped prices. Kia, Hyundai, because they now have inventory. So prices have gone down at many manufacturers. It's a good time to buy. I would buy a new vehicle now. I would say that new vehicle prices, I suspect, will kind of either stagnate, stay very similar, or go up towards the end of the year. And think, if interest rates naturally come down at the end of the year, it's going to make the vehicles a little bit more affordable. But I'd still suspect that with inflation and whatnot, the manufacturers will give a little price increase for those incoming 2025 vehicles. Now, the used vehicle index, it continues to go down. But there is also a little bit of a peak. I wouldn't worry about the little peak increase because inventories are actually currently higher than they were 3 months ago. So I think higher inventories are going to force used vehicle prices to continue to go down. I don't expect new prices to continue to go down. I expect them to go up. So I'd say buy now, buy next month. Used vehicle, I think if you wait until fall or winter, so either fall 24 or winter 25, I do expect you to get a better deal. I think I know used prices are going to have to overall come down a little because inventory for used vehicles are very high and sales were down a little. And that's kind of traditional so far in the halfway through the month of May, when Cox Automotive looked at used sales, they noticed that they were able to recognize through the data that prices that the used vehicle sales had gone down. But that's no surprise because most people have spent their tax refund money, but it's gone down a little bit more than it normally traditionally would. Now, let's head over. Sorry, my microphone sometimes picks up on me swallowing. I'll try to avoid that, but in the basement, for whatever reason, the dust down here in the office, I tend to get stuffed up, so I need the water. So that's what's going on in auto sales. Wait for your used vehicle if you can. Buy a new vehicle now. I don't expect the used vehicle prices to drop by anything drastic like 10 or 20%, but if a $500 difference overall on average, if a $500 difference makes a difference to you, then maybe wait a few months. Current vehicles that are for sale now in 2-3 months could very well still likely, based on data, some of those vehicles are still very much going to be available in 3 months with decreased prices, with reduced slashed prices, because dealers have a saturation point. It's like a sponge. At a certain point, the lot is like a sponge filled with water, and more water wants to come in, but more water can't come in. The sponge is filled. So that's when dealers take that sponge, they squeeze the water out so it can absorb new water. Well, the water that comes out, that's your reduced prices on vehicles. Those are vehicles getting slashed by $2,000-$3,000 to get them off the lot. I think you're going to start seeing nice $2,000-$3,000 reductions on vehicles you see for sale right now come month of, what are we? I'd say we're talking about 3-4 months. So July, August, vehicles you see for sale now. Let's say you look at 100 vehicles, 40 to 50 of those that you saw now are still going to be there in 3-4 months, and they're going to have, if the dealer is smart, $2,000 to $3,000 off, or they're going to be more negotiable, more flexible, because they're going to want to get that old inventory off the lot. New vehicle, buy now. So that's the news that I think is very useful. I bought my used vehicle right now because, well, a Mustang GT350, a Shelby Mustang, isn't going to be all that useful come August or September. And the deal I bought it from a particular whose Explorer 25 is coming in the month of June. So thankfully, this is one of those, rare incidences where I won't follow my own advice, but it's because different variables, different data. New vehicle, Explorer 2025, comes in for this individual in June. Another dealership, like about 2-3 hours away. So their vehicle's coming in. This has been for sale for a couple months. They had been asking $8,000. Well, $8,000 more than what I paid, but they just recently reduced their price by $5,000, and they said, hey, you know what? If they'll take $3,000 less, $2,900 less, I'll buy it. I made the offer. They were happy to accept the offer. That's how I ended up with a Shelby. The price was too good, and it was just because that the particular variables for that vehicle purchase made it that it was the best time to buy. So that's our little commercial break in between. Probably won't make it into the cut-up episodes, but hey, that's why I'm glad you're here for the live. You get the full access, the full information, all those nitty-gritty details of buying and selling